Have you ever turned on the camera and suddenly felt like you forgot how to be yourself? You know how to talk in real life. You can explain something to a friend. You can help someone at work. But the second the camera turns on, you get stiff. Your words change. Your voice changes. And suddenly you sound like you're trying to be someone else. So in this video, I want to show you a simple way to sound more like yourself on camera, with a few examples of what that actually looks like. We'll talk about how to stop trying to sound like a YouTuber, and how to talk to one real person, how to use your words you actually say out loud, and how to focus on being helpful instead of impressive. Because that's the whole idea. The goal isn't to become a YouTube personality. The goal is to sound like someone who genuinely wants to help and make things easier for others. Hi, I'm Kathy, and I started YouTube at 55 with no tech background, no fancy setup, and plenty of nerves. And this is part 5 of my Camera Confidence After 50 series. In the last video, we talked about what to say in the first 30 seconds of your video. Today, we're talking about how to keep it going without feeling like you're performing. The first thing is to stop trying to sound like a YouTuber. And I know that sounds obvious, but this is where a lot of beginners get stuck. You watch people who are faster, louder, more energetic, and more comfortable on camera. And without realizing it, you start thinking, well, maybe that's what I'm supposed to sound like. But what if that's not your style? What if your strength is being calm? What if your strength is explaining things simply and making someone feel like, okay, I can do this? You don't have to copy someone else's camera personality. You need to find your own way of helping. Because if you try to become someone else every time you record, YouTube is going to feel exhausting. You'll feel fake. You'll dread filming. And you'll keep wondering why your videos don't sound like you. So instead of asking, how do I sound more like a YouTuber? Ask, how would I explain this to one person who really needs help? That brings me to the second thing. Talk to one real person. Not the internet, not my audience, not subscribers. One person. Picture someone who needs the video. Maybe it's a woman over 50 who wants to start YouTube but feels ridiculous. Maybe it's someone who has a story but thinks nobody would listen. Maybe it's someone who froze on camera and deleted the video. Maybe it's a younger version of you. Now talk to that person. Your voice will usually soften and get clearer. Your face will relax a little, because now you aren't performing for a crowd. You're helping someone, and helping sounds different than performing. The third thing is, use words you would actually say out loud. This sounds simple, but this is where a lot of us accidentally make ourselves sound stiff. We sit down to write a script, and suddenly we start writing like we're doing a school assignment or a business presentation. We use words we would never use in real life. We make the sentences too long. We try to sound smarter or more professional. And then we wonder why it feels so strange when we try to say it on camera. It feels strange because it doesn't sound like us. So before you record, read your script out loud. Not in your head, out loud. And every time you hit a sentence that makes you think, I would never say it that way, change it. Make it shorter. Make it simpler. Make it sound like something you would actually say to another person. Here's an example. Instead of saying, today, I'll be discussing the importance of establishing a consistent content strategy, you could say, today I want to talk about why having a simple plan makes YouTube feel less overwhelming. That sounds more human. Or instead of saying, it's important to identify your target audience before creating content, you could say, you need to know who you're talking to before you press record. That sounds like something a real person would say. You don't need fancy words to be helpful. You just need clear words. You need honest words. You need words that feel like yours. And honestly, if you're starting YouTube after 50, this is one of your advantages. You've probably spent years explaining things to people, at work, at home, to your kids, to coworkers, to family members. You already know how to explain things. You just have to stop turning into a robot the second the camera turns on. So here's a simple test. Read one sentence from your script and ask yourself, would I say this to a friend? If the answer is no, rewrite it. Not to make it perfect, to make it sound like you. The fourth thing is, focus on being helpful instead of impressive. This one might be the biggest shift, because when we're nervous on camera, we start thinking about ourselves. How do I look? How do I sound? Do I seem awkward? Do I sound smart enough? Do I look like I know what I'm doing? And the more we focus on ourselves, the stiffer we get. But when you focus on helping someone, your attention moves off of you and back onto them. And that changes everything. Instead of thinking, do I sound impressive? Ask yourself, what does this person need to understand? Instead of thinking, do I look awkward? Ask yourself, how can I make this feel easier for them? That's a much better question. Because the truth is, most people watching aren't studying you as closely as you think they are. They're thinking about their own problem, their own fear, their own question, their own next step. They clicked because they're hoping that you have something that helps them. So give them that. You don't have to be fascinating every second. You don't have to pretend to feel confident before you actually do. You can just be useful, clear, kind, honest. That's enough. And the funny thing is, when you stop trying so hard to sound impressive, you usually sound more like yourself. Because now you're not performing. You're explaining. You're helping. You're saying, here's what worked for me, and maybe it can help you too. And that's a much easier place to speak from. Now I want to talk about something people say all the time. Just be yourself. And I understand the idea behind it, but when you're new on camera, just be yourself isn't always helpful because the camera can make you forget what yourself even feels like. You start watching your face, listening to your voice, wondering if you sound weird, wondering if people will judge you. And suddenly being yourself feels just like one more thing that you have to try to get right. So instead of trying to be yourself, try this. Be the version of yourself who is helping one person. And that's more practical. The helpful version of you already exists. It's the version of you that explains something to a friend. The version of you that says, okay, here's what I would do first. The version of you that says, I got stuck here too, and this made it easier for me. That's the version that belongs on camera. Not the perfect version, not the version who has every answer, but the helpful version, and that's enough. And I think this matters even more when you're starting later in life, because sometimes we think we need to become someone else to fit online. Younger, louder, more energetic, more trendy. But what if the very thing you think makes you different is the reason the right person trusts you? Maybe your slower pace helps someone understand. Maybe your calm voice makes someone feel less overwhelmed. Maybe your honesty makes someone feel less alone. Maybe your experience is the thing they were looking for. So don't erase that trying to sound like everyone else. Let it be part of why someone stays. Now here's a simple practice you can try before you record. Before you turn on the camera, explain your video out loud like you're talking to someone at your kitchen table. No recording, no pressure, no perfect words. Just say, okay, what I'm trying to explain is, and talk it through. You might notice that those words sound better than the ones you wrote. That's because sometimes your speaking voice is more natural than your writing voice. So use that. Say it first, then write it down. Or write the script first, then read it out loud and fix anything that sounds too stiff. This is also why I like short lines in a script. Short lines give you room to breathe, room to pause, room to sound like a real person. Long paragraphs make you feel like you're trying to get through a report, but short thoughts feel more like talking. One idea, one sentence, one breath. That helps your real voice come through. Another thing that helps is allowing a little humanity to stay in the video. You don't have to remove every pause, every breath, every small stumble, or every moment where you had to search for the right word. Yes, you can edit, you can clean up anything that distracts from the message, but you don't have to edit yourself into a person who never pauses and never thinks. Real people pause, real people breathe, real people correct themselves and take a second to find the right word. That doesn't always hurt your video. Sometimes it makes you easier to trust, especially if your audience is made up of beginners who already feel intimidated. They don't need you to be perfect. They need you to make them feel like they can try too. So don't aim for flawless. Aim for clear, helpful, honest. That's the standard, not perfect. Useful. Now, let me give you a simple way to check whether you're talking like yourself. After you record, don't ask, do I look perfect? Don't ask, do I sound like those other creators? Ask, would someone who knows me recognize me in this? Would they recognize the way you explain things? Your warmth, your honesty, your little phrases, your rhythm? The way you try to make something feel less scary? If the answer is yes, then you're on the right track. And if the answer is no, that doesn't mean you failed. It just means something needs adjusting. Maybe the script is too formal. Maybe you're trying to talk too fast. Maybe you're trying to sound like an expert instead of a guide. Maybe you're thinking about too many people and you need to picture one person again. That's all fixable. You're not stuck. You're learning your camera voice. And your camera voice isn't fake. It's just a version of you that needs practice. The first few times you do anything new, it feels awkward. The first time you drove a car, the first time you learned a new job, the first time you trained someone, the first time you used a tool that now feels easy. It was awkward before it became natural. This is the same. Your natural camera voice isn't missing. It's just not familiar yet. You have to give it time to show up. So let's pull this all together. If you want to talk more like yourself on camera, start here. Stop trying to sound like a YouTuber. You're not here to copy someone else's personality. Talk to one person, not the internet, not a crowd. One person who needs what you're saying. Use words you would actually say out loud. If you wouldn't say it to a friend, rewrite it. Focus on being helpful instead of impressive. The more you try to impress, the stiffer you sound. The more you try to help, the more natural you become. And let some humanity stay in the video. You can pause, you can breathe, you can be warm, you can be imperfect and sound like a real person. That's not a problem. That may be the reason someone trusts you, because the goal isn't to become a YouTube personality. The goal is to sound like the helpful version of yourself. And that version is already there. You don't have to invent them. You just have to give that version of you enough practice to feel safe on camera. I'm Kathy. I started YouTube at 55. And if you've been trying to sound like everyone else, I hope this gives you permission to stop. You don't need to become someone else to help someone. You just need to show up as the version of you who can say, here's what helped me. Maybe it can help you too. And in the next video, in this Camera Confidence After 50 series, we're going to talk about a simple practice routine that can help you feel more natural on camera. Because confidence isn't something you think your way into. It's something you practice your way into. I'll see you in the next one.